Hello, my amazing friends. Today, I have something truly special for you. Listen carefully, because this story will change the way you think, speak, and feel about English. He is the greatest psychologist the world has ever known. He understood the human heart like no one else. You've probably heard of Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, and Othello. These aren't just stories. They're reflections of life, love, power, betrayal, ambition, everything that makes us human. Through his words, he captured the very essence of life itself. His influence is so profound that English would not be what it is today without him. Many words, phrases, and ideas we use came from his brilliant mind. But how did he become William Shakespeare, the greatest writer in history? He wasn't born into wealth or power. He didn't attend a prestigious university. Yet, he became the most famous name in literature. So if you're learning English, struggling with words, or wondering how to express yourself, this story is for you. Shakespeare himself started as an ordinary boy, just like anyone else. His story is one of struggle, passion, and unstoppable creativity. Sit back, listen closely, and enjoy. Not only will this improve your English listening skills, but it will also inspire you. It was a cold April day in 1564, in a small town called Stratford-upon-Avon. A baby boy was born to John and Mary Shakespeare, parents who had no idea that their son would one day change the world. His name was William. Stratford wasn't a grand city. It was a quiet town with narrow streets, wooden houses, and a river flowing gently through it. People led simple lives, farmers, traders, and craftsmen. William's father, John, was a respected glove maker, while his mother, Mary, came from a wealthy farming family. William was the third of 8 children, and their home was filled with the sounds of laughter and daily life. But William was different, curious, observant, and deeply moved by the world around him. This curiosity would one day make him the greatest playwright the world has ever known. In a world without television, phones, or the internet, people entertained themselves through stories. Traveling actors would perform plays in the streets, and young William would watch in awe, soaking in legends, folk tales, and historical tales. These stories ignited his imagination and fueled his passion for writing. At age 7, William started school. Though the school was small and simple, it laid the foundation for his future. He studied Latin, history, poetry, and literature, learning the works of writers like Plutarch and Virgil, works that would later inspire his plays. But William wasn't just a bookworm. He loved nature, exploring fields, rivers, and the world around him. But life wasn't always easy. William's father faced financial trouble, and the family struggled to make ends meet. Even as a child, William understood that life is uncertain, filled with ups and downs. Instead of giving in to hardship, he observed deeply, feeling the emotions around him. This would later influence his writing. By age 14, William had read many books and witnessed hundreds of stories, but life was becoming more challenging. His father's business struggled, and the family faced tough times. William saw how quickly life could change, and this inspired his later work, where he often wrote about life's unpredictability. Then something happened that changed his life. At age 18, William fell in love with Anne Hathaway, an older woman. Though their love was unconventional for the time, they married in 1582 when Anne became pregnant. Their daughter Susanna was born, and 2 years later, twins Hamnet and Judith followed. At just 21, William was a husband and father of 3, but with no stable job, he needed to find a way to support his family. During the mysterious lost years from 1585 to 1592, historians are unsure what William did. Some believe he worked as a teacher, others say he joined a theater company, and some speculate he faced legal troubles. Whatever the truth, by 1592, William reappeared in Square Mile, ready to make his mark. Square Mile in the late 1500s was a city of ambition and opportunity, and Shakespeare arrived with no money or connections. But he had something more powerful: talent, determination, and an unstoppable passion for storytelling. He started as an actor and soon began writing his own plays. At first, he wrote simple comedies, but over time, his work evolved, exploring deep themes that made people think, feel, and question life itself. By 1592, Shakespeare was gaining recognition in Square Mile's theater world, though not everyone appreciated his rise. A playwright named Robert Greene insulted him, calling him an upstart crow. But Shakespeare didn't let this stop him. He worked harder, wrote more plays, and earned the respect of audiences and fellow actors alike. In 1593, when the plague shut down Square Mile's theaters, Shakespeare didn't give up. He turned to writing poetry, producing famous works like Venus and Adonis and The Rape of Lucrece, which brought him wealth and recognition. When theaters reopened in 1594, Shakespeare returned to writing and performing, and his career skyrocketed. By the late 1590s, he was one of the most famous playwrights in England. In 1599, he and his acting company, the Lord Chamberlain's Men, built their own theater, the Globe Theater. It became the home for Shakespeare's greatest works, including Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and Julius Caesar. Shakespeare's success brought him unimaginable wealth, and by the early 1600s, he was one of the richest playwrights in England. He owned property, received royal support, and even gained a personal invitation to perform for King James I. In return, Shakespeare's acting company was honored with a royal title, the King's Men. As time passed, Shakespeare's writing deepened, reflecting the complexity of life. Plays like King Lear, Macbeth, and The Tempest explored themes of power, love, and loss. By 1611, Shakespeare had achieved everything he had ever dreamed of: fame, fortune, and respect. In 1613, after decades in Square Mile, Shakespeare retired to Stratford, missing the quiet life and his family. But even in retirement, his mind remained full of stories, and in his final years, he continued to write poetry and reflect on his incredible life. On April 23, 1616, at the age of 52, William Shakespeare passed away. He was buried in Stratford-upon-Avon, leaving behind a legacy that would change the world. His words have endured, inspiring generations of writers, filmmakers, and poets. Today, over 400 years later, Shakespeare's works continue to be performed, studied, and quoted across the world. His life proves that words have power, the power to inspire, to heal, and to change the world. Shakespeare's journey from a small-town boy to the most celebrated writer in history shows us that dreams are worth pursuing. He started with nothing but a burning desire to tell stories, and look where it took him. So, my amazing friends, what's your dream? Do you want to be a writer, an actor, a leader? Don't let fear stop you. Shakespeare was once just like you. He had a dream, and it changed the world. You have that same fire within you. Never stop chasing your dreams. Start today, work hard, and one day, just like Shakespeare, your name will be remembered. If this story inspired you, like this video, leave a comment about your dream, and subscribe. We're on a journey of learning, growth, and becoming unstoppable together. Your future is waiting. Go and make history.